It's a really weird moment where they go, here's your baby. See ya. When we were in the lift and we had him in the car seat, someone told us to cover him up because of the germs in the hospital.
With regards to leaving the hospital, I couldn't get away fast enough.
I think the first thing we did is all just got into bed and just like looked at her and like, oh my God, we're a family now.
When we got home, my house was full of my family. They'd all come to clean it up because we'd left it in a bit of a rush.
This baby was so ridiculously small and helpless, and we kind of looked at each other, and it was like such an overwhelming sense of cluelessness. We're like, right, well, let's have a cup of tea. What does he want? Does he want to sleep? Do we wake him up? How does it work? How do you put the nappy on? I don't know.
I think once we got home, we were a bit like, we've got a baby. What are we going to do?
But then they cry, and then you realise you have to feed them, and you kind of very quickly kind of get into the habit of suddenly learning what they need, but that's not true. You constantly ever know what they need.
It would be nice if like stitched their bum with some care instructions, just like for the first 2 months. That would have been so helpful.
I had my mother-in-law as an instruction manual, so she would bathe the baby, she would take care of it, I just had to feed her.
When it comes to sleep deprivation, I cope and my husband just sleeps.
So you'll just be getting a couple of winks of sleep because this baby's been crying all day and you haven't slept all night, and then someone will knock at the door and it'll be your grandma or your aunt that you've not seen in 5 years wanting to hold the baby and wake her up and stuff, and it's just like, you have to just tell them just to go away, just leave us alone, we're trying to sleep.
Kept waking up thinking that Charlotte was lying on me, and Naomi used to wake up thinking that all the furniture was made out of playing cards, which is a little bit bizarre.
Haha, my partner was fine. He doesn't wake up from anything, so sleep deprivation for him was not a problem.
So, you know, that whole thing of, oh, once it's past 3 months, that's just rubbish. You never get a good night. So I haven't slept for 5 years.
I think where I'd been sort of in the hospital for 4 or 5 days, I'd had the sleep deprivation of like waking every 3 hours to feed because we were on quite a tight feeding schedule.
I thought it was quite amazing breastfeeding. There was loads of things that I was not aware of, and how complicated it could be if you didn't get it right.
From day one, she pretty much climbed up and latched herself on, and that's been that.
The high point is it's really, really convenient. You can just whip it out everywhere. And it's really nice. You just feel really close, and it's a really lovely thing to do.
I didn't really think about getting her onto a bottle very early, and all of the advice is, don't give them the bottle, they'll get all confused. But now she just will not take a bottle.
I was really determined to breastfeed, and probably maybe in the beginning to my own detriment. Like, I probably would have been emotionally more stable if I had chosen to formula feed or express and bottle feed.
So I knew how to, change the pampers, give them a bath, or even feed them. So for me it was good, it was easy.
When you're changing a nappy of a child that isn't your own, it's disgusting. When it's your own child, there's something about it that it's not a problem.
Yeah, I have had advice from people, sometimes not helpful. Actually, most of the time it's not helpful.
When you've got a pram and they just stick their head in and they make comments on, why isn't she wearing a coat, or, oh, I think she's got too many blankets on. We had that.
You're doing something, you're playing with them, and they're coming up and saying, she's not a doll. And, no, we're just playing,
We wanted lots of people to come.
Yeah.
But you kind of don't realise how much it's quite nice just when they all went, it's just like, just the three of us.
I actually loved the first 6 weeks. I thought that was amazing because it's like falling in love with someone again.
It sounds really cheesy, but there's nothing better than when you just know they just want a cuddle and you're the only person they want to cuddle.
When they're small, you plop them down, they don't move. As soon as they start crawling, you cannot let your eyes off them for even 1 second. We've got a fireplace in our front room, so you turn round, they come back and they're eating the coals.